Is thought truly free? We assume it is. We say we think for ourselves. We take pride in having our own opinions, beliefs, and choices. And because no one is visibly forcing us, we call it freedom. But stop for a moment and think. When a thought appears in the mind, what exactly is happening? Did you choose it? Did you construct it? Or did it simply arise and only then you call it yours? We are certain that we think, that much is obvious. But are we certain that we think freely? Before we defend the idea or assume anything, we should first understand what it really means. So please ask yourself this question, that what does it mean to think freely? Is thought truly free? Spinoza, a Dutch philosopher, argued that we only believe we are free because we are aware of our thoughts but unaware of the causes that produce them. We experience a thought directly, so we assume it began with us. But in reality, a thought is not an independent creation. It is the result of our previous experiences, influences, impressions, and conditions that were already in motion. We see the final moment, the thought itself, but we do not see the chain of causes behind it. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are watching reels and your feed is filled with travel videos. Every day you see beaches, mountains, people exploring new places. After some time, you may realize that subconsciously a desire is found, that I want to travel. In that moment, it feels like you thought of this thought. It feels like your own wish. But that thought did not appear out of nowhere. It formed slowly through repeated images, suggestions, and comparisons. You were exposed to the idea again and again until it became attractive. This same pattern applies to much larger things, from simple preferences like you wanting to drink a tea, to bigger things like your religious and political beliefs. Much of what we think has been shaped by culture, tradition, and personal experience. So much so that our whole identities are created around it. We can say that this feeling of free thinking may simply be a lack of awareness. We know what we think, but we do not know why we think it. This is where I would like to bring in the views of Jean-Paul Sartre. He accepted that we are shaped by our circumstances. We do not choose our birthplace, our upbringing, our religion, our culture, and whatnot. These form what he calls our facticity, the given facts of our own existence. But he argues that we are never identical to these facts. You see, according to Sartre, consciousness has a unique quality. It can step back, it can reflect, it can reinterpret. You may be influenced by your past, but the moment you become aware of that influence, you are already standing away from it. For him, the mistake is to say, I think this way because I was raised like this, and stop there. That he calls bad faith. It is treating yourself like an object, like something completely determined. Even if your thoughts are shaped, you are responsible for how you relate to them. You are responsible whether you question them, reinforce them, or hide behind them. Even saying I have no choice is itself a choice. So, can thought ever be free if it is always the outcome of conditioning? Jiddu Krishnamurti also raised this question. The brain, he says, is conditioned. From childhood, it absorbs languages, beliefs, fears, habits, values. This conditioning is not something we consciously design. It happens. But Krishnamurti goes further. He asks whether it is possible to be free from this psychological influence. By saying this, it does not mean to be free from practical knowledge. The problem begins when you identify yourself with your beliefs and fears and operate from them mechanically. Freedom, you see, is very simple yet complex. It does not come from thinking differently. It surely does not come from replacing one belief with another. It begins with something as simple as observation. It begins with observing the whole movement of thought without choosing, without resisting, without justifying it as right or wrong. And when this conditioning is seen clearly, not as it should be, but as it is, it begins to lose its grip. That is where the real freedom may lie. Thank you.